What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 325, and we're recording on April 22nd, 2025. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, join the SojuTalk Discord, and be a part of the nation. That last part, joining the Discord and being a part of the nation, has been relevant lately because of all the Soju scoring, Soju bombing we've been doing as of late.
Yeah.
Today in the Afterhours segment, we'll be doing the Red Velvet Soju Bomb Part 2. That should be a lot more interesting than Part 1, I think. I think there's a lot more, like, controversial... I wouldn't say controversial songs, but songs that spark some debate is the way I'll put it.
Some
We're recording today on Tuesday because I had, like, a quick 2-day family trip to Rhode Island, which was nice. But I'm back now.
Welcome back.
And lastly, a big shout out to our new Fuego patron, JK Cannon Event 1. So shout out to them. New patron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to quickly describe it, our patron's more just like a tip jar, really. It's essentially that. So just think of it like that. Yeah, also, I hope everyone had a happy Easter if you celebrate it. So there is also that.
Yes.
Big new releases. We got 3 of them.
Yeah.
Chuu, Hi, To Us. Those are the 3 songs we are covering this week. I also want to mention, I guess I'll mention it here before we start the big new releases. So Astro and Friends released a 2-year anniversary of his passing song for Moonbin called Memory of the Moon, which I highly recommend you go check out as well. Astro's a part of it, but a lot of Moonbin's friends were also on this. VVZ, some people from Monsta X 17, people like Chae Jong and Kim Do-yeon. We have people from SF9, and even his sister Moonsua was on the track, so please go check that out. All right, let's start with Chuu. Only Cry in the Rain. She is from ATRP. Kind of makes you think of AARP for some reason, but last 2 songs, Strawberry Rush and Howl. I really like this one. I thought this was very good.
Really?
Good.
I felt that this type of song, like, although when you think of Chuu, you think of like a really bubbly, energetic person typically. I think that this more like chill vibe really fit her vocal tone very well. I thought it was very pleasant.
It's really interesting the way ATRP is taking her production, because it really feels like they are trying to create a duality for Chuu. Because, like, we're all aware of what Chuu is like on camera. She's just bubbly, cutesy, she's like full of optimistic energy. That's her, And then ever since her debut as a solo artist, after her, fiasco with Blockberry, it really felt like they were trying to add a layer and a dimension of like depth to her character. Someone that's not just bubbly all the time, and giving a little bit more depth to her identity, right? And I think so far it's worked. I really like the first 2 releases. We never got to cover Strawberry Rush, but I do think it was one of the better songs of last year. That one leaned a little more bubblegummy than this one. This one feels like the most explicit attempt to do 2 things. One, kind of leverage the current pop music trends, but also kind of leverage this kind of like darker, not darker, but a little bit more dreary, a little more depressed energy that Chuu might bring to the table. And that was pretty interesting. Yeah.
I agree. I like this. I think what I liked most about this song, and I know we're talking about duality and maybe showing different facets to her as an artist. I think I like this type of song because it does that also in the way that it is structured or how it is presented. Because the melody is quite. It's not depressing. The melody is quite comfortable, like familiar. It feels like kind of boppy. Like it's not gloomy, but the lyrics themselves do paint a picture of like, oh, a little bit melancholic, a little bit sad. I think that's a good mixture. I think it's a good way to also expand that side of Chuu as an artist. So I like this. I like how they presented it. I liked the visual aesthetic of it too. The color grading was really pretty, like the very fuzzy, dreamy effect they had on a lot of the shots. It was giving, I don't know how many people are familiar with this, but it was giving a little bit of the late 90s, early 2000s, like almost like indie films that you might see. One that I can remember that kind of had this vibe is a Japanese film called All About Lily Shushu. I don't know if I would recommend that film because it's very depressing, but the aesthetic of it is very dreamy, very soft, while still being very sad and very depressing. So I don't know. I think maybe the tone of the song and some of the visual effects made me think of that. So I liked it. I liked the whole package. I think it's nice.
I did like the visual aesthetic of it, and I like the cover art too. As in, like, just literally, if you look at the cover for the album, I think with the little text going on, I thought that was really cute. I thought that was nice. It fits into the aesthetic that they're trying to push. It's trendy. I kind of disagree with you on the song itself, though, because for me, song itself, if you look at it base value, it's a bedroom pop, synth pop track. It's pretty simple. Like you mentioned, not all melodies are written to be just completely dark and, you know, depressing. It's positivity with a couple drops of dreariness in it. And if you look at the top line itself, I felt like it was tonally a little too simple. The builds in and out of the chorus felt a little too simple. If anything, sometimes it felt lacking. And with that, you end up with a situation where I felt like there wasn't a proper build happening anywhere, whether it's going into the chorus or out of the chorus. It just felt kind of flat instead of being dynamic a little bit, which, you know, she's going for a bedroom pop sound. She doesn't need to do all that all the time, but you end up with a situation where the song feels a little repetitive over the entire track, particularly because the rhythms are also very simple. They're going off that bump up, bump up, bump, 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 bump. That rhythm just kind of repeats and loops itself throughout this track, and it feels a little too simple. It feels very, it's inoffensive for what it attempts to do, and I love the aesthetic of it, but I think, I don't know, I feel like this is a little underdeveloped, if you know what I mean. Not that the song is incomplete per se. It just feels like, I don't know, just feels like we need a little bit more in terms of like chorus, or I don't know, it's just I think there's different ways to approach that.
Can I say something that I thought has been missing?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I haven't checked out all of her stuff as a soloist. I kind of have missed, though, from the tracks that we have covered, her really showing off more of the vocal range. I know she's been doing a little bit of a shift, right, than what she did in the Luna days, but I kind of miss a little bit more of like the high notes and, like, I don't know, something that kind of excitement that she had in like her vocal parts in Luna, while she was in Luna in some of the songs. Maybe this isn't the song for it, but I kind of agree. I feel like if there was more leeway, more space to show her vocal range, maybe this would have felt a little bit more dynamic.
I have no clue what the F is happening in this music video, by the way. I just wanted to throw that out there. Like, I watched it like
it's vague. 4 times. It's very vague.
It's so vague because it's like, okay, these people are hanging out. That's fine. They picked the most apathetic looking dude ever, right? He makes like no emotions, like, at all. And then at some point, like, at first she's crying. I'm like, oh, is this a love triangle? It's not. Definitely not, right? At least it's off. It would be off screen. And then at one point, the only hint we get is that she has a suitcase at the train station, right? So it kind of feels like she's leaving. At least that's what I thought. But I don't know if I don't know if would make you go outside and cry in the rain then, you know? I don't know if that's that big of a deal. Maybe it is for her. But to me, I'd be like, I don't know if I'd go that far.
It felt like the narrative they were pushing is that Chuu was trying to connect these two.
Oh,
really?
Like a Cupid or a guardian angel or something. Because if you hit the 3-minute mark of the video, suddenly there's 3 figures riding the bicycle, and one of them is a girl in a white dress, and she's got white wings. And
oh, you're talking about the animated part,
right?
Okay.
Right. You hit the animated part, and suddenly what I assume is Chuu is this angel-like figure, right? So, and if you look at the beginning, she's the one with the camera, and she's like filming these other folks. So, like, my understanding was that maybe she's there to like be the connector between these folks, but like that makes no sense in the context of the song. You know what I mean? Like,
whatever. I know, that was just my 2 cents. It was abstract. Let's just say that, right? Like, I'm sure you interpreted a couple ways. You know, on one hand, I get what you guys are saying. Like, I wish you would show off more, like, high notes or something like that. I feel like that just comes really down to song choice, though. I feel like for what we got, It was very pleasant and nice, right? But that being said, I do agree. In a different way, what you're kind of saying is like this floor kind of has. I mean, this song kind of has like a scoring like ceiling to it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't take enough risks where you could justify being like straight up 9. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's not enough there to justify that, right?
I feel like if they wanted to really leverage this kind of dreary kind of mood, it might have almost. I feel like it would have been a better choice to like actually slow things down a little bit, take away those upbeat melodies, and just have it be depressing a little bit.
We could have done an acapella bit in there for a couple bars or something. It would have been interesting, maybe. Something like that.
I don't know. I think it's fundamentally it's not a song that I feel like I would find myself returning to often, and that's not simply because it's missing a thing or two. It's missing, I don't know, musically it's kind of lacking on a lot of different parts for me. The arrangement's kind of simple, the rhythm's kind of simple, the melody's kind of simple. Like everything is a little too simple, you know what I mean? Sure, you could throw in a high note, but I don't think that's gonna solve it, to be honest with you.
Right.
But like yeah.
Oh, keep going.
But like at any point is it like agonizing? No, like it's
No.
But yeah, you know what I mean.
Hey, so Chuu's coming back now. There is a premiere date for this Double Plans 2 that I've been talking about for like months, right? May 6th. So I only gotta wait like 2 more weeks. So get excited. So basically, if you don't know, Chuu's gonna be on a smart person game show. That's gonna be on Netflix. Go check it out. It's gonna be fun.
Nice.
All right, let me pivot. We got Kai, Adult Swim. We got Mr. Adult Swim here with Wait on Me. He's from SM. Adult Swim and Rover, but then he also released another pre-release, Walls Don't Talk, this week. But the one we're going to talk about is technically the title track called Wait on Me, which came out today. All 3 of these songs came out today or yesterday, I believe, so they're all fairly recent. This one kind of, so this is the main thing, right? The mini album is called Wait on Me. Title track is Wait on Me. So this is the main thing, right? This is the main course. I don't know how to describe this. This feels very Kai, right? Like, right? Like, to me, like, this is like when I listen to the song, I was like, yep, this is a Kai song, right? Now maybe it's not as catchy as like a Peaches or whichever song was the that song, which
that's what it's called.
Oh, that was Peaches. Okay, or Rover. It's not as catchy as that, but this is kind of Kai doing his thing, you know, his sexy dancing, you know. But that being said, I like it, but I did eventually find, like, you know, I'm the one always complaining that songs are too short, but the chorus just got a little repetitive for me after listening to the chorus like 3 times in a row with this one without any change.
Yeah, I
Or do you
mean
need
the
to
way
talk okay, yeah, go.
the way I kind of was from how should I say it? I listened to the song and kind of like the vibe it had, and it really felt like, oh, this is around the same sphere, the same sound as Rover, but just more darker. Like Rover felt a little bit more upbeat, like I don't know, it had like a brighter sound maybe, I don't know. This felt very like dark, more moody in a way, and I don't know if it had to do with some of the visuals that added to that, but I think it's also the chorus, because yes, there's a repetition in the phrase that he says, like, wait on me. He drags out the weight, the word, and the way he ends that phrase, to me it felt very like I don't know what the word is. I'm not schooled in musical terms, but it felt like very down, like very like I don't know, like it just felt very like down, not quite bright. Whereas I feel like Rover had a more like dance, more bright sound. This felt like quite the opposite, but it still felt familiar. So I agree with Doug. It felt like this. I could see Kai doing this. It feels comfortable for him to be doing this. It just felt like it lacked a little bit of that brightness that the other ones had.
Let's build off of that, right? We're using the same relaxed vocals from Peaches, but now we have the rhythms from Rover. We have this Afro beats, Afro house kind of a style of music. This one in particular, I would be surprised if Woman by Doja Cat was not on the reference wall for this track.
Oh,
From the chord progression to that melody to like the way that chorus is written, it really felt like it was a little too inspired by that track. Which happens. Like Afro beats and Afro house has been kind of been popular the last 2 or so years. So it's not that I don't understand. It's just this one felt a little. I don't know. I didn't really find this catchy. I didn't really find this a good. I don't really feel a good energy in terms of like moodiness or vibiness. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something didn't work. The vibe didn't really resonate with me, and so I was just going along with the song, and I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's whatever. And then you get to the second verse, which goes off with this Kai rap thing, and I'm like, this is not working. This sounds like it's from 2008. That is not a compliment. So I don't know. Like these tracks, I feel like these songs that try to be kind of vibey could be fine, and they don't really try to make an impact. I don't think this track is being very impactful either. But if you want to create a really vibey song, you got to make sure that vibe is always there, and that rap really just killed it for me. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like you got to that part, and I was like, you could have had a featuring rapper if you weren't, you know what I mean? Like, or you could have had a vocal section. I do feel like having a rap in there, arrangement wise, gives it a nice change of pace and a change of mood in terms of like driving the song forward and keeping things interesting. But like, did he need to do it? I don't know.
Well, okay.
So do you think the song would have been better if we just went like singing verse into chorus, singing verse into another chorus, kind of like half a bridge interlude thing, dance break into chorus again? You think it would have been better?
Sure.
Okay.
Or like have another person rap the thing, be it Kai featuring Zico or some shit. I don't know. Not that Zico would be an easy artist to get on your song. Like he's a busy man. Don't get me wrong. Just have one of like Kid Millie or Sick K work on this shit, and you're fine. You're set. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, the thing is, and you might disagree with this, but I felt like in that section, I thought it made sense structure-wise. Like, okay, yeah, right. A rap part.
We agree structurally it makes sense, yeah.
We agree on that. I guess I thought, again, for me, it was the delivery or like how it how it was a little too high. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like the vibe of the song made me feel like, oh, the rap should be low. Like, it should be almost at the same tone that he was singing. But I felt like he went a little bit higher. I don't know. I thought that felt off to me. Like, that he kind of...
I don't think there was a huge pitch difference, though. Are you
No,
talking
it wasn't
about, like...
huge. It wasn't huge.
Okay.
It just felt like he went a little... Like,
Are you talking about the
little
energy
bit
or the
higher.
actual sound, Anita?
His actual voice.
Like,
Oh,
you're
really?
talking about, like,
Okay,
you're
I
talking
didn't-
pitch-wise. You're saying it went higher in pitch.
Pitch. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I thought so, at least. Or it felt to me that I thought the rap section would be as low or lower than what the singing was at. So I thought it felt like it was a little too high, in my opinion. But I don't know if that would have fixed it. I don't know if that would have made it.
I'm pretty confident that the pitch is higher in most of the vocal sections. I think
it?
you might be perceiving it that way because there's a different kind of energy to when he's when he's rapping, it's like ta da 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 da, and then when he's singing, he's like da 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 da. I don't sound like Kai. I'm sorry. Like,
No. That was a pretty good example, though. To be completely honest,
right? Like pitch wise, I think it.
So maybe the vibe too.
Right.
Then okay.
It's just I don't disagree with you on that because like if he kind of rapped like he's like whispering or some shit. Or like, I bring Kid Millie as an example because his voice is typically like, you know what I mean? Like he's got a kind of like a lesser energy, fast-paced rap
Mellow,
style.
yeah.
And that would fit the song perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, so I think something could have been worked out there, but the Kai, I'm reading a textbook in class rap is not working for me, man. You know what I mean? Like...
Well, I want to say though, like, I don't think this was the most exciting song, but you know, he performed it immaculately. What he was doing, right? Of
performance.
course,
I
the
love the
performance was
visuals.
amazing. Hey, on my wish list, can we get like a Kai Taemin 10 track
Ooh.
and call it like "Sexy
Ooh.
Lads" or something? You know, like, you know
That
what
should
I
be
mean?
a unit.
It could be just the sexy boys, and then we just do that. That shit would be
Sexy lads.
amazing. I think it would be too much sexiness in one track. People would lose their minds if they could. Though they're all at SM, or maybe no.
Yeah.
Actually, Taemin's not anymore. He's at Big Planet Made,
Oh,
so that's
true.
not gonna happen. But I wish we could have had something like that because to me, it's like. I look at the stuff that Taemin does, and then I look at this kind of stuff that Kai's doing. There's a lot of overlap in terms of what they're trying to accomplish here, right? I think. And I think it would have just been awesome. That like, and I don't want them to be jopping, no jopping, but I think they could have done something fun. We could have got the three. We could have got the sexy lads together. We could have called Bada Lee to make some sexy choreography, and we're
She's
chilling.
here again. Yeah.
I know she's here again, but we could have done that. Like, we could have just ran that back. And I think that would have been amazing.
Maybe it could be like a end of the year show thing where like, you know, like
it'd be awesome.
yeah.
It'd be awesome.
I hope they call it sexy lads though. Like I would like to see Korean people try to pronounce that word like
Sexy lads.
Sexy lads.
But yeah. I'm happy Kai's back. He's on a lot of stuff right now, in like not only musically but on variety shows. He's on a lot of stuff. So it's excited to see him hit the ground running. But overall, for me, I just felt like other than the rap section, which did change things up, whether you like it or not, I didn't feel the most excitement from this one. That's how I kind of feel, right? But what we did get was, you know, textbook high level Kai performance, right? It was pretty cool.
We also got
music
textbook
video,
reading rap from Kai.
No, okay. I wanted to give a little shout out though to the music video and the director. I don't know who worked on it, but I thought the shots. I thought like this is a prime example of how you can do like choreo shots and make it interesting.
Yes.
And like not just like a forward like focus and then back focus and back it's static. I thought the angles were really cool, the set design was really cool, the lighting also
yeah
the Dune reference, I think
there's Dune references going on.
I thought that was pretty nice, pretty cool.
I think I was thinking about this because I've been critical of some people's dancing in these music videos lately. I think this music video, what it comes down to, it's camera movements and interesting lighting choices, and I think both of those things are doing very well here, and it just makes it look a lot better.
It does.
And also the B-roll footage, like him doing like a mini Lion King of himself on the top of the rock in the moonlight was a cool shot, I thought.
A little mini Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically worshiping him, right? In that shot.
Yeah, you got a point, yeah.
And then we had a classic, dancing. I'm dancing in the water for some reason. I'm splashing in the puddles, right? We had one of those shots too, which always works.
Yeah.
'Cause it just looks very intense when you do that. So I think on the performance side and what we were visually trying to show, it worked. I think musically though, I don't think it was the most exciting song. Okay. Let's pivot to the final song of the week. I got some things to say about this one. We got TWS with Countdown. They are from Pledis. Last year's songs, Last Festival, which was that Christmassy themed one. If I'm S, Can I Be Your N? Hey, hey. They've essentially released like a variant of this song for the third time, right?
Oof.
Starting with Plot Twist, then If I'm S, Can I Be Your N? And now Countdown. We're following like they could have a plagiarism lawsuit on themselves, honestly, at this point. Right? Yeah.
I'll say this. It's becoming harder for me to just like, if I think of one of the songs, right, to distinguish them.
They all sound the
just
same.
like right away. Like it takes me a minute. So I kind of see what you mean.
We've come to a point where I can list out a list of characteristics that define the similarities between these three things, and it's a long list. That's not a good thing. You know what I mean? Once you become a predictable formula, I personally don't like it. As in, like, if I want to listen to Plot Twist, I'll listen to Plot Twist. I don't need a Plot Twist 2. And you know what? We got a Plot Twist 2. I wasn't complaining. We don't need a Plot Twist 3. You know what I mean?
3.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's a little concerning that they are kind of repeating themselves down to the chord progression. Like, if you go back to the first time we discussed Plot Twist, I had a whole thing about, it's got a 4-5-3-6 chord progression. It's like, it's called the Royal Road. It's a popular chord progression in Japan, and that's why it gives, you know what I mean? Like, we talked about all that. 4-5-3-6 is still the progression for Countdown. It's the one they used for the other one. If I am N, you are at that other thing. And then you got the reappearance of those saw pads that do little chords. They're like G, 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 G. You know, like they go with the rhythm on the downbeats, and then you got a chorus synth drop. I don't know. It's becoming a little. You start with the voice-centered, no instrumental or less instrumental kind of an intro. You know what I mean? Like it's it's a little too predictable now, and I'm typically not a fan of that, particularly in a situation like this where I feel like this is. Personally, I feel like this is an inferior version of the other two.
Well, it's made by a different production team. The first two are the same team. This one's different.
Oh,
really?
Who is this producer?
Yes. If you look up the first two, Bumzu, right? That guy. He wrote the first two. He made the first two. He's the first name on lyrics, composing, and arranging, right?
Okay.
This new one is the composing and arrangement is Matthew Tischler is who made this. The first name.
Matthew Tischler is a Canadian songwriter and music producer who has written and produced songs for film, television. I'm reading the Wikipedia. He's from Toronto. Hey, shout outs to Toronto.
Shout out to Toronto.
Yeah. He's also written for SKE48 at some point. That's crazy.
Oh.
Well, this is what I'll say. If I hadn't listened to the other two songs, right? I was like, oh, that was fun. I like this. It sounds like a little J-pop happiness on a K-pop track. But I've already said that twice. You know, it's unfortunate because by itself, I think the song is fine, right? I don't have too many complaints. I thought it was fun. That boyish charm thing we're going for, and it works because we have the nice chord progression, and I think it's working. But when I listen to the same type of song from the same group for the third time, I'm like, damn, we're beating this horse that's already pretty dead, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's tough because like my Soju score is gonna reflect the fact that I've listened. This is like variant C of the same type of formula, right? Not the fact that it's an individual song, which is kind of unfortunate in itself.
I mean, I don't think you can blame yourself for that. Like, we can't take these songs out of context. That being said, that's where we were very happy with where we got last festival.
Yeah,
we liked that song because it was a good change up. It was a good outlier in terms of what TWS can do. It felt like it was consistent with their character, but like very different in terms of aesthetic. Kyungmin and Jihoon, which I think provide a very interesting tonal character to their sound. It was like a rediscovery for these kids, even though I really like these kids in last festival. You get to this song and they're doing the same shit that they've done already in the first two title tracks that they've released. So I don't know. I don't think you can ignore that context. And if you are able to, for people who are trying to take this out of context and say, oh, this is just as good as the first two tracks, and just go with that. I don't know, man. If I agree with you, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to ignore the fact that this is the third mini album from an artist. You know what I mean?
I want to point out I want to make one funny remark before we talk a little bit more about the song.
Oh.
Okay.
Imagine, Warren, that we were filming some kind of school project and we had to interview each other, right?
We've done
and I
this.
hold up the camera and I ask you, what do you think it's going to be like when we're adults, right? And if you just stood there and you sat there for 5 seconds and you smiled and put your finger towards your mouth, I would slap you. Like, I'd be like, what the heck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Okay, but this is.
But
you know what this is for.
If I press play and you stood there for 5 seconds, I would punch you from behind the camera. I'd be like, what the heck are you doing? I thought that part, I was like laughing when that happened. I was like, this bro's not just staring off to the side, putting his finger near his mouth.
Maybe if I was as cute as, I think his name is Hanjin. Like,
Yeah, but you ain't. I'd slap you, dude, if you did that, if you pulled some of that shit, dude, straight up.
Also,
Can I say something though?
Ridiculous.
That part though, because the song actually starts as the song, right? Like I was pleasantly surprised that we started right away. Like the choreo too, like the shot. I was like, okay, yeah, let's just go. No exposition needed. Let's just start the song. And then it stopped for that.
I was like, fuck yeah,
for that.
For the recording. And you know what? It would have been fine if it wasn't so long, because it felt very long.
It was so long, and
I felt like it stopped the momentum. Like we were going really well, and then it stopped.
Okay, on a similar note, they did that shit again near the end. They ended the song, and then they had a bit of a gap, and then an outro happened, and I was like, where is this outro in the audio version? Mr. Han!
Oh.
You could have given me that. You have the outro. Give me the outro in the audio. Fuck you. What the hell?
Imagine after 10 seconds, Warren looked at you and said, I think it's gonna be fun. Smack you again, dude. That was your answer after 10 seconds. Like, what the f are we doing? And no, you're right. They did a random outro, though. I don't know.
I don't know. I've complained about breaks in music videos way too many times at this point.
This one was bad. It was bad to break.
I'm gonna touch on something you said earlier and build on it, because you said this feels like at face value, if we didn't get the first two tracks, this would have been just as well received. But I don't know if I agree with that.
Really? Okay.
It really feels like the melodies feel like they've kind of been squeezed out. In terms of, I don't think the melodies flow too well. I don't think the build worked too well. Like, there's a couple change ups, like the bum 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 bum. I think it was a little too on the nose. It was a little too much. I feel like they could have toned it down a little bit to have that pace keep working. The melody itself felt like it was the best in the first iteration. This time around, that intro is not sticking to my head as well as the first release they did with Plot Twist, you know? the sound design and the instrumentation choices, dare I say, sound a little out of date and a little behind. The particular synth instrument that they chose for the dance break in the chorus, I don't know. It feels like something I would have heard from Chainsmokers about 7 years ago. And like,
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah, and like they have these future-based instruments, which, don't get me wrong, I think they have a place in music, but the way they use it, it just feels like it's a little dated. I'm not gonna lie. So you have the situation where the sound design of it feels a little dated. The melodies feel a little awkward and unnatural. You have the fucking pasta on fire for I don't know what reason, and and then the pacing is all off. I don't know, man. Like,
Did you like the boom 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 part? Did you like that break?
no, that's exactly what I was referring to. It just
Oh,
feels like
I kind of like that.
To be
I like
honest,
that part. I thought it was a
know.
good
To be
change
honest,
up.
I thought it stands out to me because everything else was already a little too familiar. Do you know what I mean?
That's my point exactly. Yeah.
And also they decided to do a bit of a sing rap part, right? Like during that section too. And I think the instrumental changes a little bit more, but I don't know. It just felt like, to me, it felt like that section, even though it's not the most, groundbreaking, like new thing I've heard, it felt almost like a breather because it felt like interesting compared to.
But you know how sad
rest of the
that
song.
is? Throwing
know
in a
if it's
trap
sad.
drum as like a change up is literally what every boy group does. Literally. Name me
But
a
that's because
name
he
me a boy
hadn't
group that
done
hasn't had a
that.
trap inspired arrangement at some point in their career in the past 10 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, because in their previous discography, and they had not really explored that too much at all. I can't recall. This felt a little like, oh, this is interesting. This wasn't there in the first iteration of this sound from them. I don't think. I don't know. I guess I understand what Doug says about like if I had not heard, if this wasn't the third time, right, that we've heard something similar, maybe it wouldn't be as I don't know, as we wouldn't see it as subpar, right? But I don't know, I feel like there's just things that I feel like could have worked a little better. And I don't know what the decision was. Like if it was, let's play it safe, this has been working, and let's just tweak it a little bit, or if they really just want to stick to this, like this is the sound, they don't really want to stray from that, because I mean it's popular.
As far as I
These are coming
understand,
in.
Last Festival didn't chart as well as the other two tracks. So it's not completely not understandable from a marketing and a business standpoint, as in like,
Right.
okay, we tried to deviate, didn't work, let's just go back to what sold. And you know what? I get that from a business perspective, but at the same time, this isn't a strategy that's going to keep working on forever on one hand. And the other hand, as a fan of creative music, this isn't creative. You know what I mean? Like, this is just,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. It's tough because by itself it's okay, but when you compare it to the other tracks, it's like it's a really strange decision from Pledis, to be completely honest.
If I can say one more thing, I've seen a couple folks online say that this is their signature sound, that they kind of built
okay.
this teen pop, teen fresh pop. The marketing wise, they call it teen fresh pop. I don't know why. They built this kind of aesthetic and genre, and this is their thing. And you know what? If all of these checkboxes need to be checked for this to be a genre, that's not a genre. That's just a style of sound. And on the other hand, if you want to go for that teen pop sound, that's like bubblegum boy group, like thing, there's so many other different sounds you can do. There's so many different genres you can go into, and so many different chord progressions. You don't need to always do 4, 5, 3, 6. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things you can do. It's fucking pop music. There's a wide variety of things we can do. It just doesn't need to be the same thing again and again and again. So, I don't know. There you go.
Right. So those are the songs of the week. The other ones we have Odd Youth, I Like You, Eunice with okay. I did not know how to pronounce this. Is there a Korean way to pronounce this? Swissy? We have Kai with Walls Don't Talk Through. And the sad thing about that Eunice song, it's pretty good. We have Super Junior LSS with Pon Pon, TIOT Flexline, A Pink Anniversary Song, 10 Clap, Big Ocean, Attention. Please check out Big Ocean too. That is the group where all the members are hearing impaired. So check out Big Ocean.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, show we have Astra with the memorial song with "Memory of the Moon." It's very sad though. Get your tissues out. You probably gonna need it. All right, we're at SojuScore. All right, 3 songs were covered. Well, let me back this up. Last week, episode 324, XG in the Rain got a 6.17. Some people were not happy with my my criticism of their dancing. It is what it is. We have NCT Wish with Pop Pop with a 4.95. That was a low score. We have Unbi with Hello Stranger 6.06. This week we have Chuu, Only Cry in the Rain, Kai, Wait on Me, To Us with Countdown. Let's start with Chuu, Only Cry in the Rain. You know, at one point this week, or at one point today, I was gonna give this an 8.
Whoa!
Wow.
What? Damn.
I was.
Okay.
Good on you.
I think I got talked down the little from there. I'm gonna give it a 7. I
Wow.
thought this was a good song for Chuu. I thought it
Still
fit
a
her
good
voice
score.
very well.
Wow, that's still a good
Yeah.
score.
Seven's still good.
Way higher than mine.
Oh no. I gave it a 6. I liked what it was doing. I wish there was a little more, but I like this. I don't mind this. I think it expands her sound. So yeah, 6.
You know what? Maybe it's not that much lower than Doug. I have a 5. I think it's fine. It's pretty average.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got scared.
I thought you were gonna give this like a 3, Dan.
Oh, no.
Well, SojuTalk Nation, Gochu Gang, all those nice people also voted. They gave this song a 6.96. So I'm not alone in giving this a 7, guys.
Wow.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
it's not just me. And as a result,
Good.
Chuu's Only Cry in the Rain receives a 6.24, which is a reasonable score. Next we have Kai with Wait on Me. I just feel like we need the vibes. The vibes were interesting. They were Kai vibes with the performance, but I just thought the song needed a little more MSG. I gave this one a 6.
I also think it needed something extra, but you know what? This is the thing with Kai. The performance for me
Hard
always,
carrying.
hard carries a bit, so it's a 6.
Okay.
I wish the song itself had a little more oomph to it, but the performance aspect is really good.
I think Anita captures exactly why I'm about to give the score I'm about to give.
Oh.
I typically don't really enjoy songs that rely too much on the performance aspect of it to sell itself.
Yeah.
I think musically there's not really much to go off of here. I have a 4.
God damn. Okay. All right. I'm a bit shocked, but we the SojuTalk Nation gave it a 6.73.
Wow, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
They like this.
Yeah, and as a result,
People like this.
Kai's Wait on Me is getting a 5.68. Thanks, Warren. Finally, we're at 2 countdown. Okay. I know I talked a lot of shit about this being the third type of this song, but I still think the formula is working, to be completely honest. But I do have to factor in the fact that I think that I can't really stand for the fact that they're doing the same song over and over again. I did give it a 6 though, because I think it still is working to an extent. I like the song system.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I wasn't being as critical to their repertoire and how is this the best version of this sound? It's just a little disappointing that it is another version. But it's not terrible. It's not a terrible song. I think it's still quite decent. So I was between a 5 and a 6. But I'm gonna be positive, so I'm gonna give it a 6.
Anita's giving out the devil's number. after Easter and the Pope died? Are you kidding me, Anita? What is wrong with you? Yo, what are we doing here? Just giving out the side of the devil.
I just think these songs are
the Cardinals
they're fine.
The Cardinals are flying to Rome as we speak, and Anita's giving out 666s right now. I can't believe it. Okay.
It's pure coincidence.
Sure. Also, pure coincidence that Vance met him the day before he died. But okay, Warren.
If you like Plot Twist, you can listen to Plot Twist. Maybe you can listen to If I'm S, Can You Be My N? I don't think you need to listen to this one. I have a 3.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I knew it was going to be low.
Look at Warren's scores.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Not a good week for Warren.
Last week he gave out a 3 as well. This guy's on a rampage. SojuTalk Nation Coaching Egg voted. They gave it a 5.87, kind of more in line
Why are you surprised?
with Anita and I. It gets a 5.22. Okay. You get some fun scores. Finally though, we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yes, we have quite a few. First off, Mark. With 1999, he won on Show Champion, Music Bank, and Show Music Core. So 3 wins so far with his official solo debut. Then we have J-Hope with Mona Lisa, won on M Countdown. So this is second time he has won, 2 wins so far. Then Le Seraphim with Hot, won on Inkigayo, 2 wins so far as well. And then Isna with Sign, first win ever on the show. Congrats.
Nice.
Hey, Isna, let's go.
It happened.
Hey, that's exciting. Honestly, it happened. You know, the peoples were like cultivating us. We're calculating. We're in the trenches of the numbers. It worked out for us. Also, Le Seraphim Hot. Hey, honestly, it didn't do too well in terms of music show wins this time. And then Mark, we did not cover that song, but it has 3 wins. So maybe that was a mistake on our part.
Good for him.
But that ends part 1. So just like episode 325, we'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back at part 2 of SojuTalk episode 325. We got some news and events from the past week. So, do you remember that we had that injunction, right, with New Jeans, saying that they could not go by NJZ and that they couldn't have those advertising deals as NJZ, right? We had that injunction. They appealed that. The court upheld the injunction, so New Jeans lost there, so they still cannot. But then they are now appealing the appeal.
Oh, okay.
Which you can do. They're appealing the decision on the initial appeal. After that, you can't appeal anymore. But they are now appealing the initial appeal. That's where we are.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I had to look up, like, are they actually appealing the appeal? They are. You're allowed to.
Yeah, you're allowed to appeal up to twice in the Korean legal system.
Yeah, in America, this is how I'll explain it. It makes more sense in America because let's say a judge rules something, and then you appeal. You go to an appeal court, so someone different is making a decision, and then you could appeal that decision. So it kind of makes sense in that sense, but just like out of the open, just saying they're appealing an appeal, it seems very confusing. But that's what they're doing essentially. So we had that.
Okay.
Next thing. So the only, like, sort of, it wasn't even news, it got denied eventually, was that there were rumors of Taemin and Nojae, the dancer, dating. Oh. That was the big thing.
That would have been cool.
There are, like, pictures of them together and stuff. But a lot of people are saying that it seems that if they were an item at some point, it seems like they already broke up. That's what it seems like.
Aw.
Because there are pictures of them like together hugging, and then they eventually says no, they're not dating. Yeah, they're two
Okay,
close colleagues that
well.
work together. We respectfully request stop making speculations in the future. So people are like, well, if they were dating, I guess they're not anymore. So that's the conclusion people came to. But as we know, no, they're not
Alright,
dating
then.
is the answer. Imagine you're just like dating someone and then that shit's all out in the open. It'd be, I don't know, it seems rough.
Yeah. Not great,
Being a
but-
celebrity isn't super easy. I forgot about Nose. I forgot she was around.
Well, yeah, she went on hiatus. Like, I don't want to dig up her past, but
Oh, shut
I'm
up.
gonna dig up her past. So she got criticized because when she was popular after Street Woman Fighter 1, she was taking brand deals for like Instagram posts. And people found out that, let's say you got Louis Vuitton ad and she made a picture with a Louis Vuitton bag. And then later she got like some smaller local company and she posted a picture of her with that. She was later deleting the photos with the smaller companies' items, but not the big companies. So she got
Okay.
criticized for that. Yeah. That's why she was like gone for a while.
Not the worst
Next.
thing, but
So Luna, in legal dispute with BBC, they won a partial victory in the lawsuit. So the reason it's partial victory is because they initially filed for the nullification of the contract, which meant that the contract never existed and that one didn't work. But then they refiled as contract termination and they won in that sense.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it seems like the remaining members, Hasu, Yeojin, Eve, Go-won, and Olivia Hae, have now been terminated. Their contracts are now terminated. So I believe that's everyone now. So now they're all free.
they're free.
They're free.
Yeah.
Freedom.
They're free.
Freedom.
Yeah, it says right here. So this is the person who posed a partial victory. As far as I know, is just that their case aimed first for the contract nullification to make it effectively disappear from the beginning as if it never exists. That didn't work. The next move was to go for contract termination, make it no longer be effective as of now, and that one was upheld. So that's why they say partial victory.
Okay.
A win is a win.
Yeah, this BBC company, like it seems like they really had something cooking at the beginning, and then it just kind of went all south, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. All right, next thing. According to the latest remarks by high top officers, BTS may not resume group activities in 2025. That's like a kind of sensationalist headline. Essentially, they interviewed the CEO of Hybe Labels, and he said, you know, BTS is a massive group. We got to be really careful with what we do. We need to evaluate everything, and that's all going to take some time. So he says,
Oh, so it's not a no.
it's not a no, but he says, like, don't expect it to happen soon because we need to make it perfect when it does happen. And it seems like 2026 is more reasonable for our timetable.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
That's fair because
That's fair.
not all the dudes are discharged yet, you know? Like, I don't think it's fair to, like, say they're going to come back in the next, like, 8 months when not even the dudes are out yet, right? I don't think that makes sense.
I mean, really, like, I guess I'm not an army, so I can't speak on this matter. But if I could, I'd say, like, what's the rush? Take your time. You're BTS.
Yeah.
We'll wait. I'm waiting. We'll wait. I can
Yeah.
wait. I know how to wait.
One of the quotes was,
Yes.
however, BTS are an artist of top global status, and this status demands a careful evaluation of the group's vision for what is next. We are in the process of discussing the group's promotional plans for 2026. Therefore, we do not have any projections laid out at this time. I think that's all fair. Yeah. Next thing. So Twice, so Coldplay has a song called We Pray, and Twice is featuring on a version of the track. And
Ooh.
they also appeared at the Coldplay concert in Korea because they're doing like 3 dates, right? Guess who appeared at the next date? Rose
Oh.
did Apata with Coldplay last night.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And now people are like, who's going to appear on night 3? So that's also going on. But yeah, they had Twice and Rose appear at their concert.
Wow.
I didn't realize Koreans were this into Coldplay where they could have 3 concerts like within a week. Apparently they are,
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I don't know why.
Big.
We like Coldplay.
So that's pretty cool. Next thing. So you remember KG from Vicha, and she's having a lawsuit with JYP.
Yeah.
So she announced she's going to be taking legal actions against a fake PR smear campaign against her via Instagram story. She said she's being stalked both physically and digitally, and has involved both the FBI and police.
What?
So she's basically saying there's like an online smear campaign against her, which, you know, it could be happening potentially. We don't know by who, but she's getting the authorities involved because she's like, it's going too far.
That's
So
scary.
that's pretty scary there.
Oh.
Going though. Mnet is planning to launch a new version of Unpretty Rap Star
What?
this year.
What?
What?
It'll be called Unpretty Rap Star Hip Hop Princess.
Oh, Jesus
Is a
Christ.
joint Korean and Japanese hip hop project that will create the eyes one of the rap world, is what they stated.
Oh, jeez.
These buzzwords.
Yo, hip hop princess, eyes one of the rapper world, Korea and Japan. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Man, I hate that name.
I did not know this was ever gonna come back.
I did not know it was ever gonna come back either.
It's pretty hype though, is it not? Like, I think it's pretty hype.
I don't know.
I
I
don't-
don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I really don't know either.
This might be more variety than actual like
I mean,
competition.
we're
but-
gonna have to watch the first episode to see the dumpster fire. Are we not? Right? Like, is it like,
It's either I don't know, man. As someone who has mixed feelings about Unpretty Rap Star to begin with,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Anita? Speaking of Mnet competition shows, are you
Uh-huh.
excited for Street Woman Fighter 3, the world
Yes.
global one they're calling
Yes.
it?
Yes. I know
I've
some of
never
these crews are
watched
coming.
a
Yeah.
Street Woman Fighter or Man Fighter like live, like as it's progressing. I've seen like clips and stuff. I'm committed to watching this season, Anita. I will watch it along with you.
You should.
I've decided to watch it. What is it called? World of Street Woman Fighter, right? Is that what they're calling it? Yeah.
Yes, as it implies.
And Hanbin is the
Or-
MC now, right? I think he's taking over for Kang Daniel, so that should be.
Oh,
pretty
is he?
cool as well.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Hanbin is going to be.
Well, if you're
Tanga.
interested, they are airing May 27th this year. So hey, there you go.
Let's go. We got a lot of shows coming up. I'm excited. And we also got Unpretty Rap Star Hip Hop Princess.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
God save us.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Next one. So I only wanted to mention this because it's not really K-pop, but AOMG is going into like their 2.0 era, and people think a girl group is coming. There's like, I don't know why people think it's coming, but I saw a lot of people talking about this online. Oh yeah, look. They say it right here. Following reaching contract announcements, the label revealed that Nui has joined the family and that a new girl group will be also launched. So they stated it themselves.
Oh. Well.
They also added. I mean, they're not straying away from their roots as a hip hop label. Their recent signing is a trio called Shiku. 200 or Ebek is the most famous girl out of that trio. They went viral for like a remix of Tomodachi, Team Tomodachi.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah. Team
Yes, yeah.
Team Tomodachi, that one.
Yeah.
They still have Jackie Y there. They have Yugyum. They got Punchinello, but like a lot of the high-profile AOMG artists that we were familiar with are no longer there. Their CEO has changed last year.
Yeah.
It's a very different AOMG than the AOMG that we were familiar with, I'd say maybe 2 or so years ago. I think it's fair to assume when within a span of 2 years, or actually within a span of 1 year, all of their major players left the company, which to me communicates something's happening upstream in the management side of things. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something more K-pop coming. That's always been the assumption.
Oh wait, you want more K-pop coming? We know members of this group, by the way.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you watched Thailand too, right?
Yeah.
Fire Music and AOMG debuting their first girl group consisting of Juwon, Chaeyeon, Yui, and Ji-won from Island 2. This, Anita, you remember Chaeyeon who was on my shit list who was really bad?
Oh shit, that's not a good sign.
She was only popular because she was a ballerina, right? She was so bad.
Well,
Nope.
okay. We'll see from this lineup.
These
I
two,
wouldn't think
Juwon and
hip-hop.
Yui were good. Those two were good. Right?
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
them. And I remember this girl being bad, and I don't remember this last girl, to be completely like honest. And they didn't sign Fuko, Warren. There's no Fuko on this list.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry about that. I mean,
I can't see her in AOMG, but
I
mean,
don't,
you could see Cheon in AOMG.
But guys, what I'm trying to say is, I think AOMG is not the same AOMG that we remember. I think
right. Maybe
I think it's starting to become just another CJ E&M label, kind of like Off the Records, or you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what it feels like to me. Like it feels like another Wake One or like Stone Music sort of a situation. Their situation with 8-Ball is even further up in the air as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just a normal K-pop group with nothing to do with AOMG or higher.
Yeah, it just feels odd though, right? Like higher music AOMG girl group. That just seems weird.
We'll have to see who produces their music.
So Zoa, formerly of Weekly, has signed with Key East Entertainment. She'll be using her name Cho Hae Won. So good luck to her. Yeah, Weekly was kind of sad when that thing kind of imploded. Next, Pentagon's Jinho will be ending his contract with Cube Entertainment.
Dang.
And then what else do we got here? Fresh. Sungmin reportedly parting ways with SM Entertainment to pursue a career in trot elsewhere.
Okay. I'm surprised by the trot part. Not surprised that he's leaving.
No, he's been
I saw that
trying.
coming.
No, he has been.
Really?
I believe.
I haven't listened to it. I'll have to check it out.
Was he?
Pretty sure.
Was he? Was he in Super Junior T at that point? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Was he?
like they had a trot
Could've
unit.
been. They did.
He was in it.
He
Yeah.
was. Okay.
Ah.
Well, there you go. Super Junior T
makes
is back
sense.
apparently.
I feel like the trot fat's kind of on the way out though, but maybe that's just me.
Maybe he's a huge trot fan. I don't know.
Hey, good luck. Last thing, hey, we got a Jin tour going on.
Ooh.
Goyang, Chiba, Osaka, Anaheim, Dallas, Tampa, Newark, London, and Amsterdam. You could see your boy Jin on tour.
Nice.
That should be cool. He's doing Prudential Center by himself. That's impressive.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's expecting like 15K to show up. They're definitely gonna show up. Hey, go do the Jin tour. And then finally, I got a little tea. Let's brew up some tea, right?
Tea.
Okay.
A photo dropped and people are talking about it. So let's talk about it. It's not news, but I wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
There's a photo.
Oh shit.
La Seraphim, Eyelid, and Cat's Eye together at the Easy Crazy Hot Tour in Seoul. And there's a lot of people talking about this photo, and it's the Hive Girl groups, and people are like, so it's odd that they dropped the photo right when the New Jeans stuff is going on. That's
Just so we're clear for the audio folks, it's a picture of all three groups that they took together. Like they're in the same room, they're interacting with each other.
Yeah.
You know, like family vibes, Hive family.
and on the Eyelid official Twitter as well, you know, we got a traditional concert, like, hey, we're all together, it's like a photo type vibe too.
I mean, I'm not surprised, to be honest.
If I'm like completely honest, like if you go through this shit with someone like New Jeans, I feel like that would be a bonding experience for these three groups. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
like let's say, I'm just speculating. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that Eyelid and La Seraphim barely knew each other 2 years ago.
Oh,
Let's just say they barely knew each other, never ran into each other. Yeah,
That's facts.
That's very possible. Now, if you go through this extended scandal where you have a group that's pointing fingers, if you have a former lead producer pointing fingers at someone else in your subsidiary company, you know, like if she's going around antagonizing you guys where you feel like you guys didn't do shit, that could, I don't know, that feels like a bonding experience where you're like, you hit each other up and you're like, hey, that lady's shit talking us. How does that make you feel? You
Yeah,
don't know.
let's make good. It's good that you made the distinction. It was not the New Jeans girls. It was it was Mini Jin and other people at Adore who were on Mini Jin's side.
The thing though, like I don't know, I find this a little bittersweet, I guess, though, right? Because to me, it's sad to find out that the scandal happened and now we see them together. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like of course, we don't know what happened behind the scenes. There's different versions of the story of like how things played out.
Anita,
but
you also have to take into consideration that when this was starting to pop off, Cat's Eye was barely there and Islet they just debuted.
Yeah. I know that, but I'm saying that to me, the perspective that I had of the subsidiaries, right? Because Hive the big company, and then all the other branches that are associated with them, was that they were still quite separate. Like they weren't quite like a typical like big company, like you know how they say like YG Family and SM Town, that sort of thing. So I feel like now, I guess it's nice to see that they're maybe encouraging that, but I don't know. I guess I never saw that as much before, so it's kind of sad that it kind of had to be.
I don't know. I don't think they had the opportunity to. You know what I mean? Like.
No, I think there was some attempts, because I was thinking back to I know they had like what was it? It was some sort of variety show event they had where a lot of the B-lift people,
It was on. She was talking
people.
about the thing with not PD. That's what she was talking about.
Yeah. They did a bit of that, right? But I don't know, I guess it felt more like it was a one-time thing for the show, for the TV, than it was as a high big company, like umbrella thing. I don't know. I guess that's my take of it. Like I'm glad they're doing it. Kind of just sad that it's at this time, when things are kind of rough.
I mean, I don't agree with that, because I'm like, they shouldn't have to not put out this photo.
No. I think they should. They should have put it out.
You're
I don't think it's said.
I think you're saying, right, like you wished that there was more interaction that would have happened organically without all this context happening around them.
Right.
I just don't think there was a good timing to do this up until this point. And like when the timing was right, they were going through a lot of scandals, and at that point it's not a good timing, you know what I mean? Like you can't just start putting up photos with each other when like the general public is like very anti-hype, you know what I mean? Like now they're able to do it because like people are on hype side, and like we've come around to this a little bit.
I also think in this context, Cat's Eye lives in the US for a lot of the time.
That too, yeah.
They're in Korea right now because they're preparing for the comeback. I know that for a fact. And also Islet was a rookie group too, so it's not like, you know what I mean. It's not like they had a ton of time.
And when Game Caterers for Hype aired, that was way before Islet was around. This was summer 2022.
No, I know they weren't there. I know they weren't a group yet at that time. Yeah.
I mean, I just see this as it is what it is. Like, what are they gonna do? Not release photos? I think they have all the right to do whatever the heck they want, right? And people, and on the other side, people have the right to do whatever they want, because first comment here, and Jay-Z deserves better. Like, I don't think they deserve anything from this photo. They're not here,
I understand why they're not there too. Like, I understand both sides, but yeah.
I mean, I don't understand both sides because they legally cannot be around these other groups right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, like from a company image perspective, it also doesn't make sense to me, because like Hype spent a lot of time explaining to us that these different companies are gonna serve different functions. Does it right now? I fucking really do not know. But like that's what they told us is gonna happen. So in my head, I was like, okay, you want us to perceive these as different companies instead of Hype owning a bunch of fucking conglomerate, like a bunch of companies like a conglomerate. Which from a marketing perspective, I kind of get, because like that might come off as like a monopoly situation. So like I thought that's what they were going for. Clearly, they figured out with the Adore situation that is not a good choice to make. So now,
Also, for context, this was just on Yujin's Instagram. Like, Hype didn't put this photo out; she did.
well, I mean,
Like, it's not even the main photo. It's like the third one in the album that was dropped. Like, she had like on Instagram, you get stack photos. It was like the second or third one in the stack. So I think a lot of people are making this out to be way more than it actually is. You know.
No, yeah, I don't think it's meant to be anything super.
yeah, all fairness to everybody involved, like Yoonjin is not randomly gonna hit up Minji and be like, hey, like, do you want to come to our show where you're beefing with everybody? Like, that's, come on, like, have some sense. That's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just hope people don't make this a mountain when it's not even a molehill. To be
Hopefully not.
Yeah. All right. You want?
I mean, people are though. All the comments are very angry. So
What are
yeah.
people angry about? I like New Jeans, but that's not something.
Well, I mean, they're all just angry people talking about New Jeans, dude.
Oh,
So
me. All right. Let's move on to the Soju Bomb.
that's why I said it was T. Oh wait, well, one more thing.
Okay.
Next week, in terms of music, it's actually a pretty empty week. Lucy, Unite, Highlight, which we don't know if they're Highlight or Beast, and 50/50. That's it. I don't know why there's like no songs next week, but that's the situation. All right. Warren, transition us. All right. This is the Red Velvet Soju Bomb Part 2. Now, we're in the SojuTalk era, so we covered every single one of these songs during the podcast.